Our panel joins us now. National Diversity Coalition for Trump advisor and Washington Times columnist Madison Gesiotto, former chief of staff for Senator Mike Lee and Sutherland Institute President Boyd Matheson, and Tea Party Patriots president and co-founder Jenny Beth Martin. Jenny Beth, I'll start with you. You just heard me railing on the Senate in particular and the Congress generally about their inability to get anything done. And you know, we've got a budget coming out of the House, and they're already disagreeing on that. Where are we going to find common ground? I mean, the country has to move forward. How does it happen?
Well, the way that it will move forward is for Congress to pass repeal of Obamacare. The Senate has to act. They have to pass repeal of Obamacare. They can go back to the 2015 repeal bill and vote for that. The three senators who've come out today and said that they would not vote for it, they voted against Obamacare when it first came out, and then they voted to repeal it 50 or 60 times. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to protect it? Do they really think that's going to fly with their voters? It's not going to fly, especially when their voters know they are exempt from Obamacare. It's time for them to exempt the rest of us and repeal Obamacare.
And that's the irony, isn't it? Boyd, to you, is it as easy as just bringing up a repeal vote? If that were the case, wouldn't it have happened earlier?
You know, I do think Jenny Beth is right in terms of we do need to get that repeal in with some sort of fuse and transition period where we can actually go back and do exactly what every member of Congress promised to do, which is to get something that was going to work for the forgotten man and the forgotten woman in America. The current bill doesn't do anything for them. It does a lot for health insurance companies and people with influence and money, but they need to get back to, does this help the forgotten man and the forgotten woman? They're actually the ones that put Mr. Trump into the White House. And that's important for the administration. Look, and it should be important
for the people in the Senate. I think we're all feeling like the forgotten person this evening as we watch Congress twiddle their thumb. What are they doing? Madison, to you, I want to focus for a second, if we could, on tax reform, because that to me is the thing that's really going to bring this economy together. This is what we're all waiting for. This is what gives even more momentum to the stock market. This is what's going to put people to work. Is this on hold? The White House says they're pushing it forward. How confident are you?
Right. I think the difficult part right now that we're seeing is that Republicans are not really getting 100% behind the agenda of President Trump. President Trump ran to change America and to make America great again. And we're seeing Republican senators that have been in office for many years. I remember being a young college student back in 2010 when Obamacare was recently passed. And Republican senators in many states said, we're going to make sure this gets repealed and replaced. It's now 2017. I've gone through undergrad. I've gone through law school. They had 7 years to come up with another plan, and they couldn't do it. And when we look forward to tax reform, they're making promises, but until they get it done, I'm not convinced that they're really going to get behind this and make the changes that we, the American people, want to see.
Well, I think a lot of people feel like Madison, frankly. In fact, I asked the question on my Facebook page, what do you make of this, of what's going on in Washington? How do you I got a lot. I was slammed with reaction. Here's what Judith had to say. She says, they are worthless. Vote them all out. I'm ashamed to admit that I am a Republican. This is not the Republican Party I was proud to join. We've got some more we want to put up, too, show you what people are saying. You could give the Republican Congress a 5,279-foot head start in a 1-mile race, and they would still screw it up. I got to tell you, Sue, they promised to repeal and replace. They all need to be voted out at their next election. Jenny Beth, to you, you're with the Tea Party. You understand how people in the real world get frustrated with inaction. What are you telling people who are Tea Party pals of yours?
Listen, I've had thousands of people who've been emailing me since last Thursday with those same comments. What I'm saying is pick up the phone, melt the phone lines, tell Republican senators to keep their promise and repeal Obamacare, and remind them they're exempt from Obamacare and that you want the same exemption. And then call the White House and ask the president to use his Trump card. He can get rid of the congressional exemption of Obamacare, make it effective October 1st, and get these congressmen and their staff and the senators to act. That'll put pressure on them if they actually have to feel the same consequences we've felt around this country.
I feel sorry for John McCain if that happens, but I love your activist approach, taking the bull by the horns. I think we need to do that more often. Panel, thank you so much. Great job. I know everybody out there is a little frustrated tonight. You were able to explain why.
Thank you.
Thank you.